before you scroll past this. You don't have to perform right now. You don't have to be strong or together or certain. You can come exactly as you are, weary, wondering, quietly hoping that something is finally about to change. Because that is precisely the version of you I have been waiting to reach. My child. I know the weight you have been carrying in secret. I know the prayers you breathed when your voice had nothing left. I know the tears you hide, the hope you buried, the heart you kept giving even when it came back wounded. I know. Because I was there for every single moment of it. Nothing you walked through was wasted. Not the loss, not the silence, not the delay, not the door that closed when you were certain it was the right one. Every moment was working something in you. And for you, that is about to reveal itself. So take a breath. Let the world wait for just a moment. And let me speak to the deepest, most tired, most hopeful part of you. Because this message, this exact moment, was written with your name on it long before today. You have been living in survival mode for longer than you've admitted to yourself. Not dramatically. Not in ways that look like crisis from the outside. Just quietly, bone tired, running routines on empty, carrying a weight that doesn't even have a name, but somehow lives deep in your chest every morning when you open your eyes. You've become skilled at appearing fine. You've mastered the performance of okay. You laugh at the right moments, you show up, you push through. But when nobody is around, in the quiet car, in the late hours of the night, in the shower where no one can hear you think, you feel it. That heaviness, that ache you cannot explain, that exhaustion that sleep never seems to fix. You didn't drift on purpose. Drifting never announces itself when it arrives. It happens slowly. One postponed moment of stillness, one ignored feeling, one quiet, I'll deal with it later, that slowly becomes never. You did not drift because you stopped caring. You drifted because you became exhausted. And exhausted people learn how to survive, but they don't always know how to feel alive anymore. My child, drifting does not mean you are lost. It means your soul has been trying to find rest. And being found, truly found, begins the moment you finally become still long enough to let yourself be seen. Every prayer you whispered was heard, even the ones that barely left your lips, even the ones spoken through tears, even the ones you gave up repeating. I heard all of them. Every night you stayed awake, wondering why life felt so heavy. I was there. Every tear you hid from people, every moment you smiled while hurting, every morning you forced yourself to keep going. I saw it all. You thought nobody noticed your pain, but heaven did. My child. The heartbreak changed you. The disappointment changed you. The love that hurt instead of healed changed you. You stopped hoping the same way, stopped trusting the same way, stopped opening your heart so easily, not because you became cold, but because pain taught you to protect yourself. And slowly, you started expecting less from life. Less joy, less peace, less from people, because hoping started to feel dangerous. But listen to me carefully now. Your dreams did not die. They were waiting. Every closed door had a reason. Every delay carried protection. Every ending created space for something greater. You could not see it then, but one day you will understand why certain things never worked out. Because I was not destroying your future, I was protecting it. I know what you never said out loud. What if I'm still not enough? What if I fail again? What if I get hurt again? What if nothing gets better? What if no one stays? You never spoke those words to anyone, but I heard every single one, because silence does not hide pain from me. My child, I saw you cry quietly in the dark, trying not to make a sound, trying not to worry anyone. I saw you hold your chest because the pain felt bigger than words. I heard you whisper, "Does anybody even care?" into a room that felt empty. And when the world did not hear you, I did. When nobody noticed your breaking heart, I noticed. When you felt invisible, I saw you clearly. When you felt forgotten, I spoke your name in heaven. My child, your pain never pushed me away. It pulled me closer. Your weakness never made me leave. It made me hold you tighter. Every fear, every ache, every silent tear, I saw all of it, and none of it made me love you less. You have never been too broken for me, never too emotional, never too much, not once, not ever. You have carried a quiet question for a long time. Why is it taking so long for me? I know how often you asked that in silence, wondering when things would finally change, wondering why life felt unclear for so long. My child, there were seasons where you felt lost in fog, no direction, no clarity, no answers to the questions you kept bringing to me. And sometimes, you thought the silence meant I forgot about you. But none of those delays were punishment. Every delay carried protection. Every closed door hid a reason. That opportunity that disappeared would have cost you more than you realized. That relationship ending saved your heart from deeper pain later. That waiting season was preparing something inside you. Strength, wisdom, discernment, capacity for the life that is coming. Because what you prayed for required a version of you that was still growing. My child, you did not miss your moment. You were being prepared for it. And when the right time arrives, you will understand why everything happened the way it did. Something is approaching your life, not vaguely, not someday. Something real, something specific, something that carries your name on it. And my child, it was being prepared during the very seasons you thought were setbacks, during the waiting, during the silence, during the moments you thought nothing was changing. I was still working, but breakthroughs require open hearts, and exhaustion can make the heart go numb. Pain can make you stop expecting good things. Disappointment can quietly convince you that nothing will ever change. And that is why this moment matters so much. Because I am not trying to give you temporary emotion. I am trying to awaken something inside you again. Hope, trust, expectation. You do not need to have everything figured out right now. You do not need to feel perfectly ready. You only need to stay present, awake, willing to believe that the same grace that carried you through every painful season is still carrying you now, still protecting you, still guiding you, still writing the next chapter of your story. And my child, the story is not over yet. I was there in the heartbreak, standing beside you when your heart cracked open. I was there in the exhaustion, giving you strength when you had none left. I was there in the disappointment, holding together the pieces of hope you thought were completely broken. I was there in the loneliness, filling the empty spaces with love you could not yet feel. I was there in the fear, holding your trembling heart when anxiety became too heavy. I was there in the confusion, guiding you slowly even when you could not sense my direction. I was there in the numbness, keeping your spirit alive when everything inside you felt empty. My child, I saw every silent tear, every night you cried quietly, every prayer whispered through shaking lips, every morning you forced yourself out of bed when your soul felt exhausted. I saw all of it. You were never abandoned, not for one moment. Even when you thought I was silent, I was closer to you in your pain than you realized. Closer in the heartbreak, closer in the loneliness, closer in the nights you thought nobody cared. I never looked away from you, not then, not now, not ever. Bring exactly who you are, right now, in this moment. You do not need to pretend anymore. Do not bring the version of you that tries to look strong. Bring the tired parts, the confused parts, the quietly grieving parts, the parts of you that have been waiting a long time to finally feel safe enough to breathe. My child, you are allowed to put it down now. The fear, the pressure, the exhaustion, the weight you have been carrying alone. You do not have to hold all of it anymore. And yes, things will get better. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you will not walk through it alone anymore. You are seen, fully seen. You are known, completely known, and you are loved. With a love that does not weaken when you are tired, does not disappear when you struggle, does not leave when you drift. This moment found you for a reason. And what comes next, if you stay open, will change more inside you than you realize. I need to tell you something about yourself, something the world never said clearly enough. You spent so much of your life being defined by pain, by what you lost, by what hurt you, by what did not work out, by the labels people placed on you when they did not understand your heart, by the version of yourself you became just to survive difficult seasons. But my child, that is not who you are. You are not your worst moment. You are not your longest struggle. You are not every goodbye, not every closed door, not every dream that unfolded differently than you hoped. You are not the wounded version of yourself that learned how to hide. You are not the exhausted version of yourself that forgot how to hope. You are not the smaller version of yourself you became just to make others comfortable. My child, you were created intentionally, with purpose, with meaning. There is something inside you that no pain has been able to erase. A gift, a calling, a depth inside your spirit that existed before this world ever hurt you. And no disappointment has destroyed it, not even now. I did not create you accidentally. Every detail about you was designed carefully. The way your heart feels deeply, the way you continue caring even after being hurt, the way you keep standing back up when life keeps knocking you down. None of that is weakness. It is part of who you are. The world told you that you were too much, but I say you were always enough. The world told you to stop feeling so deeply, but your heart was never meant to become cold. Your sensitivity is not your flaw. It is one of your greatest strengths. My child, you have been living smaller than who you truly are, apologizing for taking up space, hiding pieces of yourself that I created intentionally. And it is time to stop agreeing with every voice that told you that you were less than. It is time to stop carrying shame for things that were never your fault. It is time to stop hiding the parts of yourself that I love deeply. You are seen. You are known. You are valuable. Not because of what you achieve, not because of how strong you appear, not because of how perfectly you hold life together. You are valuable because you are mine. And that has never changed, not once, not through anything. When you look in the mirror, you see flaws, you see failures, you see mistakes you still struggle to forgive yourself for. You see the broken parts, the wounded parts, the exhausted version of yourself that feels like it keeps falling short. But my child, that is not what I see. When I look at you, I see someone who carried more pain than most people ever knew about, and still kept going. I see someone who was hurt deeply, but refused to become cold. I see someone who was disappointed again and again, but still got out of bed the next morning, still showed up, still cared, still tried, still hoped, even when hope felt dangerous. My child, I see courage in you that you do not even recognize, because from the inside, it just felt like survival. But I saw every moment you kept going when giving up would have been easier. I saw your faithfulness, even during the seasons where nothing seemed to change. I saw the warmth in your heart even after life tried to harden it. And that is not weakness, that is rare. The world tried to convince you that your softness was a flaw, but your heart was never the problem. Your ability to love deeply, to care deeply, to keep showing kindness after being hurt, that is strength. My child, I have seen every prayer you forgot you even prayed, and I have been answering them slowly, carefully, in the right timing, in the right order. Even now, things are moving that you cannot yet see. Seeds you planted in painful seasons are beginning to grow. Quietly, slowly, but truly. There is a version of you coming into existence right now. A healed version, a peaceful version, a stronger version. A version of you that no longer carries this heaviness everywhere. A version that receives love without fear. A version that walks into rooms without apologizing for existing. A version that trusts again, not blindly, but wisely. That version of you is not far away. I see it clearly. Even on the days you cannot see it at all, so trust what I see. Especially on the days you look in the mirror and only notice the tiredness. Because my child, what I see is truth, and what I see is beautiful. I want to talk to you about the fear you have been carrying. Not the loud fear, not the obvious kind, but the quiet fear. The one hidden underneath everything. The fear that quietly shapes your choices without you fully noticing. The fear that has whispered to you for so long that you started believing it was simply who you are. But my child, that fear is not protecting you. It is keeping you small. There is a fear inside you that says, what if I hope for this and it never happens? So you stop yourself from hoping fully. You lower your expectations. You call it realism. But really, you are afraid to want something deeply in case you lose it deeply. There is a fear inside you that says, what if I let someone close and they hurt me again? So you keep people at a distance, close enough to avoid feeling alone, but never close enough to truly know your heart. And sometimes, your life looks connected on the outside, while feeling lonely inside. There is a fear inside you that says, what if I try and I fail again? So you wait, you over-prepare, you delay beginning. You tell yourself the timing is not right, but really, fear has been speaking louder than faith. And there is another fear, the quietest one of all. What if nothing ever changes? So you pray carefully, hope carefully, expect carefully. You ask, but part of you stopped believing anything would actually happen. My child, I am asking you today to release these fears into my hands. Not because life will always unfold exactly how you planned, but because fear was never meant to lead your life. Fear was never meant to become your loudest voice. You were not created to build your future around anxiety. I need you to trust me more than you trust your fear, because I have never abandoned you. Even in seasons that felt like failure, I was still working. Even in silence that felt empty, I was still near. Even in delays that felt painful, I was still protecting you. So let the fear go, little by little. Lay it down. Open your hands again and let me replace it with something fear could never give you. Peace. Real peace. The kind that remains even before circumstances change. Courage, the kind that moves forward without needing every answer first. Trust, the kind that rests even in the middle of uncertainty. My child, you were never created to live trapped in fear. You were made for so much more than that. There is something I need you to understand about the seasons that felt empty. The seasons where you prayed and heard silence. The seasons where you waited and nothing seemed to move. The seasons where everyone else looked like they were moving forward, while you felt stuck. My child, those seasons were not empty. They only appeared empty from where you were standing. Because underneath the surface, I was building. I was preparing. I was arranging things you could not yet see. People, doors, opportunities, moments. I was placing them carefully into the right order, because answered prayers are not just about arrival. They are about timing. The right thing, arriving at the right moment, to the right version of you. And that kind of preparation takes time. Preparing your heart takes time. Growing you into someone who can carry the blessing, protect it, sustain it, and not lose it takes time. My child, the silence was not absence, it was preparation. The waiting was not punishment, it was formation. The stillness was not failure, it was foundation. I was building something underneath you that would be strong enough to hold what is coming next. Even when you could not see it, I was still working. I was softening hearts, opening doors, redirecting paths that would have led you into pain. I was growing patience inside you, wisdom, depth, strength, resilience, things that could not have been formed any other way. You looked at the waiting and saw wasted time, but I saw necessary time. You looked at the silence and thought nothing was happening, but I was speaking into the foundations of your life. You looked at the stillness and felt forgotten, but I was making sure that when you finally moved forward, it would be into something real, something lasting, something able to hold you properly. And my child, the building is almost complete. What I have been preparing in hidden places is beginning to come into view. And one day, when you finally see everything clearly, you will understand why it took exactly this long. Not one moment was wasted. Not one delay was meaningless. Every second of the silence had purpose. I want to tell you about what is coming. Not vague promises, not distant hope, but something real. Something already moving toward you. My child, what was taken from you is being restored. The joy you lost through grief, through heartbreak, through exhausting seasons is returning. Not a weak version of joy, not fragile happiness that disappears at the first difficulty, but deep joy, steady joy, the kind that survives storms, the peace that anxiety shattered, the peace that chaos stole from you is being rebuilt inside your spirit, a peace that does not depend on perfect circumstances, a peace that remains steady even when life feels uncertain, because it is anchored in something stronger than the storm. My child, I know relationships wounded you. I know trust was broken. I know love was mishandled. But I am bringing people into your life who will handle your heart with care. People who will stay. People who will see the real you and still choose you fully. People who will not ask you to become smaller just to be accepted. And those doors that closed, those opportunities you lost, they were not the end. I am opening new doors, better ones. Doors aligned with who you truly are. Doors connected to your purpose, not just your temporary desires. And the confidence that rejection tried to destroy, I am restoring that too. Slowly, quietly, one moment at a time. I am reminding you that you are capable, that you are worthy, that your life carries value. My child, even the dreams you buried, I have not forgotten them. The dreams you stopped speaking about because disappointment hurt too much, I kept them safe, and I am breathing life into them again. Maybe not in the exact form you once imagined, but in a form even better for the person you are becoming now. Restoration is already happening, even if you cannot fully see it yet. Sometimes restoration begins quietly, a lighter morning, a peaceful feeling in your chest, a conversation that changes direction, a small moment of clarity after a long season of confusion. Pay attention to those moments. They are signs, the beginning of something greater. And my child, your story is not over, not even close. The most beautiful chapters have not happened yet, and even now, they are already being written. You have spent too long surrounded by the wrong connections, not always bad people, but people who were not meant to walk into your future with you. People who could not see what I placed inside you. People who made you feel like too much are somehow not enough. People who took more than they gave. People who stayed past their season and slowly drained your spirit. And because of those experiences, because of the people who hurt you, left you, used you, or misunderstood you, you became careful, guarded, slow to trust again, slow to let people close. Part of you stopped believing anyone would truly stay. My child, I understand why you built those walls. I do not judge you for them. But I need you to know something. I am sending people who are different. People aligned with where I am leading you. People who will encourage you, challenge you in healthy ways, and stand beside you during difficult seasons. People who will not disappear when life becomes hard. I am bringing connection that finally feels safe. A community that feels like home. People who understand your heart without needing endless explanation. People who celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. People who pray with you, speak truth to you, and refuse to let you shrink back into the smaller version of yourself you once hid inside. My child, I am healing the loneliness you carried for so long. Not shallow connection, not temporary comfort, real connection, deep connection. The kind that feels genuine, the kind that lets your soul rest. I am sending mentors who will see potential in you that you cannot fully see yet. Friends who check on you simply because they care. People who give without constantly taking. But I need something from you too. I must be willing to open the door when they arrive. You must be willing to lower the walls slowly. You must be willing to trust again, not blindly, but bravely. Do not let old wounds punish future people who came to love you correctly. The right people are coming. Make room for them. Keep your heart open enough to recognize them, because belonging, real belonging, is part of what I have prepared for you. And this time, you will not need to perform for it, fight for it, or make yourself smaller to keep it. It will simply feel like finally coming home. I need to say this to you as clearly and gently as I can. Do not give up now. My child, I know you are tired. I know the waiting has felt long. I know there were quiet moments, private moments, where you wondered if anything would ever change. Moments where hope started feeling heavy instead of comforting. Because hoping takes energy, and your soul has been tired for a long time. I know there were moments where you almost let go, moments where the weight felt too heavy to carry anymore, moments where giving up felt easier than taking one more step forward. But look at you, you are still here, and that matters more than you realize. Every morning you chose to get up, that mattered. Every exhausted prayer you whispered quietly, that mattered. Every time you kept moving while part of you wanted to stop, that mattered too. My child, that was courage. That was faithfulness. That was strength, even if it did not feel strong. Because something inside you refused to completely give up. And I need you to hear this clearly now. What you are praying for is closer than it has ever been. The breakthrough that feels far away is already moving toward you. The answer you have waited for is unfolding in ways you cannot yet see. So this is not the moment to quit. This is not the moment to lose hope. This is not the moment to decide nothing will change. This is the moment to take one more step, one more prayer, one more day. Because what is coming, what I have been preparing through every painful night, every silent season, every exhausting moment, is worth holding on for. You have come too far to stop now. You survived too much to give up here. My child, you are closer to breakthrough than you realize. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep breathing, and take one more step, because I will be beside you through every single one. And now, before you go, I want to speak a blessing over you, not because you earned it, not because you were perfect, not because you never struggled or doubted or fell apart, but because you are my child. And blessing you is not something I do reluctantly. It is something I delight in. So receive this now. Let it reach the tired places inside you that have waited a long time to hear these words. May the weight you have been carrying begin to lift. May the exhaustion in your body begin to release. May your mind finally find rest, real rest, deep rest. May your spirit discover peace that nothing in this world can shake. May every door that closed in the wrong season open in the right one. May opportunities find you. May provision meet you exactly where you need it. May the right people arrive at the right time and stay for the right reasons. May the wounds that never fully healed begin to close. May the grief you carried quietly become lighter. May the heartbreak that changed you be transformed into wisdom, into compassion, into strength. May your confidence return. May you walk into rooms without apologizing for your presence. May you stop shrinking your voice. May you finally take up the space you were always meant to occupy, without guilt, without fear. My child, may the dreams you buried begin to breathe again. May hope return slowly. May joy find you again in unexpected moments. And may that joy grow steady inside your spirit. May every lie you believed about yourself lose its power today. May shame grow quieter and truth grow louder. May you know deeply, not just in your mind, but in the center of your soul, that you are loved, chosen, seen, never forgotten. You are not too much. You are not too little. You are exactly who I created you to be, and I have never once been disappointed in you. My child, may what is coming into your life exceed every prayer, every hope, every dream you barely dared to imagine, because you are mine, and I am for you, completely, unconditionally, without end. So go forward now, not in fear, not in exhaustion, not trying to earn what has already been freely given to you. Go forward knowing you are held, you are guided, you are deeply loved, and nothing in heaven or on earth can separate you from that love.